Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Song Connection with the weekly comic book roundup. We'll get started with this week's X-Men books, as there were quite a bit for 1 week. Starting things off with X-Men number 5. As this does not continue on from... Well, actually, this does continue slightly from the first issue. In the first issue, there was a raid on a Orcus facility, carried out by Storm, Magneto, Cyclops, and Polaris. While there, they discovered one of the so-called Children of the Vault, who escaped before she'd be taken in by the X-Men. So the issue begins with Cyclops wondering what it is he's done. So we begin in Ecuador. Serafina, the child of the vault, making her way through the jungle. She comes upon two shepherds, and she asks that they keep him from following her. Of course, it turns out that as she runs, it turns out that him is Wolverine. And Wolverine quickly and non-lethally takes the two shepherds down and goes after the girl, finding the entrance to the vault at what appears to be an abandoned master mold. But so they'll have to find another way in. Inside the vault, Serafina is welcomed home, and back on Krakoa, Storm, Professor X, Armor, Cyclops, and Wolverine discuss a mission into the vault with the three people who will be going on the mission. Sync, X-23, who insists she is Wolverine. So from this point, Wolverine, and Darwin. Her father is actually more than thrilled to hear her say that she is Wolverine. So yeah, or to hear X-23 say she is Wolverine. However, there is a downside. Cerebro cannot penetrate the vault when it is closed, so they will not know if they've succeeded or failed, if they've lived or died. They have to get in and get the information and get out long enough for Cerebro to download them. If they don't, the mission has been for naught. However, Wolverine asks how long they'll be gone. Her father explains that time moves differently. One of the last times the vault had opened, within the vault, several thousand years had passed between the two openings. And there's a write-up about there's a write-up on Sync, the post-resurrection analysis of Sync by Dr. Cecilia Reyes. Turns out he was one of the earliest to be resurrected as the possibility of basically taking the place of one of the other members of the Five. Within the vault, other children are woken up Sangre, Pero, Aguja, and Fuego. It seems like more of the Children of the Vault are being brought online. So, the X-Men return to Ecuador. They attack the abandoned Master Mold, get the Vault's automated the attention of the Vault's automated defenses. And while there's the strike team attacks the defenses, the infiltration team makes their way in, and that's that. When they arrive, the Vault realizes that it's been infiltrated by those who are not supposed to be there, and it seems like it's doing what it can in the way of defending itself. We fast forward to much later, close to exactly 3 months, 5 days, and some change. And Cyclops asks Professor X basically how long it's been inside. How long it's been for them inside. Best guess? 537 years. And some change. And that, we get back to the first few panels with Cyclops saying, "My God, what have I done? What the hell was I thinking?" And that's where the issue ends. I really hope that's not a means of writing out Laura, Darwin, and Sync. That would really suck. Next up, we've got Fallen Angels number 6. So where we left off, X-23 and Cable had recruited Husk and Bling to the Fallen Angels. Oh, pardon me. And they decided to take the fight to Apoth in Dubai. So they're in Dubai. Basically taking on the mind-controlled Apoth drones. Making no lethal force. That these people are not in control. Meanwhile, Psylocke uses her telekinesis to make her way to Apoth. And it turns out that or at least Apoth utilizes the form of that captured Cable earlier in the series. So Psylocke hooks into Overclock, and her and Apoth duke it out. When we're all said and done, Psylocke wins, explaining that releasing the other side of itself. She explains that life is binary, and to be a god, he had to make an adversary. And so now we have Apoth's adversary appearing in the wake of Apoth. Back on Krakoa, Psylocke basically says she's going off to do her own thing and leaving X-23 in charge of the Fallen Angels. However, it turns out that Apoth's essence is still maintained within the Overclock device, which Psylocke has brought to Mr. Sinister. And She informs Sinister that if Sinister has a need for her and the need is just, she will help him. And she goes off into the sunset. That's where the series ends. Moving on to New Mutants number 6, which picks back up with the Nebraska story arc. Where we left off, Glob Herman, Armor, Manon, and Maxim had all gone to Nebraska to, well, to get Beak and Angel and bring them and their kids to Krakoa. However, it turns out that they're at Beak's family farm taking care of Beak's father, who is quite ill. However, one of the Krakoan drugs can save Beak's father, so they get it, bring it, and wait for the recovery to actually work. However, while they're waiting, some armed gunmen burst onto the farm from the country of Costa Perdita, and they want Krakoan drugs to sell on the black market. And they're now holding everyone hostage. Also, Boom Boom has arrived on the scene as well, drunk. Tumilo, the leader of the Costa Perditans, goes out, tries to figure out what's happened to the people he had guarding as hostages. Two of them were mind-controlled and killing one another, and another got hit with at least been incapacitated by Angel. Another was knocked out by Glob. And one more has been turned into an ally of the mutants by Maxime and Manon. So they're going to get Beak to the hospital, but the plan is to get Beak to the hospital in the truck that the Costa Perditans came in. However, Tumilo has taken Beak's father hostage and apparently killed Beak's mother. And then Tumilo kills Beak's father and then himself. Basically saying the Costa Perditan, the Bohemian cartel of Costa Perdita is not done with the Krakoans. A few days later, on Krakoa, Beak is recovering, and it turns out that Manon and Maxim have modified the memories of Beak, Angel, and their kids. And it's explained, their hearts were in the right place, but you really can't go doing that. But there's at least a somewhat happy ending, as the Bohask family is recovered on Krakoa and all end together. And that's where the issue ends. Next issue, we'll be back with our. We'll be back to the space story. Moving on to X-Force number 6. Where we left off here, Xenos were making further moves, inroads into taking down Krakoa. Going after various laboratories, and, well, Krakoa struck back. So, in Terra Verde, there's a ground team in Terra Verde while Beast and Sage observe. There's also a brief history of Terra Verde explaining that their economy was booming thanks to nanofluoronics. However, shortly after Krakoa came along and brought up their own organic tech, Terra Verde accused them of plagiarism and threatened to sue the country. As apparently Krakoa had neutered Terra Verde economically. So we one things back to the day before, signing ceremony between Xavier and the president of Terra Verde. Present with Xavier is also Black Tom. However, there's some people. There are some in the crowd not too happy with the idea of Terra Verde and Krakoa having a treaty, who appear to have plant-based abilities. So Black Tom gets involved. And it's explained that, and he tells Beast, yeah, hey, it looks like I saved the day. Basically, the idea being trying to prevent Xavier from getting killed again. But it turns out that the president of Terra Verde has opted against signing a treaty with Krakoa, and his son has been kidnapped. So Beast and Jean Grey figure out what's going on with the president and his son. And the ground team goes in. And it's explained that basically these nano-organic troops are kind of organic version of Omega Sentinels. It's kind of a, how, and in fact, the president's son staged the kidnapping. And so Beast makes a few changes to the nanofluoronics, sends him back to his father, though in need of help, and then eventually he seems to melt into a mound of nanofluoronic goo, which makes its way out his bedroom window, and then reforms and walks away. And the narration shows Beast to have an exceedingly higher opinion of himself than he really should, claiming that he's always 5 moves ahead of everyone else, and he's never wrong. Yeah. Never wrong. Alright, moving on, we've got Weapon Plus, World War IV. Now, you may recall in the Wolverine Captain America Weapon Plus one-shot, Weapon 4 was revealed to be actually... Weapon 4 led to the creation of Man-Thing. And it seems that the current people in charge of Weapon Plus are doing everything they can to kind of to continue the project. So beginning on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington, a dome of fog appeared a week ago. At its approximate center is the town of Hemlock Haven. The perimeter is spreading, sometimes a few inches a day, sometimes by a few feet. Within the dome, all communication, radio, phone, email, has gone dark. Research and rescue teams have been sent in to investigate, but no one who has gone in has come out. In Russia, we see a man claiming to be an environmental journalist being tortured by a Russian interrogator. Turns out that he wants to talk to, or he has questions about General Turgenev, who's watching. However, the reporter basically manned things out, kills his interrogator. The general is quite impressed by the modifications. He's then taken down and weapon. And the operative gets back on board. There's supposed to be an antidote for what he's got, and he's supposed to get it now. This is his last mission. But something's come up. Turns out on the Olympic Peninsula, our operative's dear brother is there. So we find out that a year ago, he was investigating a group called Blackgrass because of toxic runoff from their lab was causing deformities in the flora and fauna in the surrounding Alabama area. What he didn't realize is they were utilizing from the researcher Ted Salas, Man-Thing. He also didn't know that the scientist in charge of the lab was one Andrew Plimpton, who was a former DoD official. And so he became the perfect test subject. And the first one to actually survive. So, in the Olympic Peninsula, our boy, Weapon 4, goes in and starts poking around, finding everything turned into, covered in plant life. Then the 4 soldiers from the beginning attack him, but he takes them down rather quickly. And he continues to make his way through. He realizes that his brother's in there all right, or, well, the body at least. Everything that makes his brother, however, is long dead. And so he kills him, leaves, and then Dr. Plimpton asks, this is supposed to be a rescue mission. Where's your brother? And he explains, my brother's dead. And then, well, Plimpton joins the dead brother. And that's where that story. And there's a backup story about activate Project Brute Force. On the Orcus vessel Trident, it's somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, a group of modified animals in power armor attack. We've got Soar, who's the tactician, a bird with tactical augmentation, a rabbit, the Maverick, again with grafted armor, hydraulic leg struts, Dr. Echo, a dolphin that is listed as being the group's intellectual, Reckless, a bear with a full power suit and projectile weaponry, profile is enhanced enforcer, and finally Lionheart, a lion with bladed claw articulators and Octavius spinal injection. Psychological profile, hero. Well, turns out whatever Orcus is running, it's something bad, and it takes out Dr. Echo, and then the rest of brute force. Turns out this was just a test run, and so Dr. Younger insists that basically they take everything they can from the ship and go from there. That's where the issue ends. And lastly for this video, and now for the last one of this video, Deadpool, the end. Written by classic Deadpool scribe Joe Kelly. So we begin at the death of Death. Apparently, Deadpool has killed her with magic bullets. And he's given baby Franklin Richards the Infinity Gauntlet, and yeah, things are just going nuts. Doctor Strange has got Chinese finger traps on these fingers, so his hands are stuck like this. The Thing is melting. Mr. Fantastic appears to be now made out of glass, with Mjolnir hurtling towards him. Yeah, and then another Deadpool shows up, this time wearing full armor. Deadpool duke it out, with the armored one attempting to protect Death. And then we find out who's in the armor. It's not Deadpool. It's Wade's daughter, Ellie. She's 97 years old, and turns out the reason that Wade's trying to kill Death is so that his daughter doesn't have to die. And then the energy core of the power armor she's in explodes, taking out her and her father together. And it turns out it was all a plot for Deadpool and Death to finally get together. And they tricked Mephisto, put him someplace very inconvenient for him. Then we get a handful of other endings. Deadpool turned Miami into a dead dome with simple rules. Accept everyone as they are, do your share of the work, clean up after yourself, and party. Party very hard. Another one where he ended up working for an insurance company. Or for an insurance company, a tech company. And yeah, it's not good. Another one where he's part of the Avengers and dating Captain Marvel. Another one inspired by the grim and gritty DC books, especially of the 80s. And subsequent decades as well. With Deadpool basically being the Dr. Manhattan of the group. Another ending where, things aren't going too well between Death and Deadpool. And, Thanos is there, so she's going to go talk to Thanos. At least have coffee, with Thanos. Another one where Wolverine and Deadpool have their genetic material combined into an army of assassins, which two of them teamed up to kill, but attacks their own healing factors, and they're dying together on top of a pile of mashups of the two of them. getting the heat death of the universe. Being Iceman's boyfriend, and him and Iceman joining the Avengers together, and various other 90s, very, very, very 90s related panels. And then we get a knockoff of in the finale of The Sopranos. Only this time we see parts of what happens as suddenly bricks are being put up over the panels, and spray painted across the wall as "breaking case of writer's block." And that's where the issue ends, explaining. I'm saying anything on make your own rules, then break the hell out of them. There's no such thing as the end. Love and last licks. Your pal, Deadpool. Alright, that's it for this video. As always, feel free to like, share, subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.